Thanks for listening to another episode of PSL on the Mic, the city's official podcast. Today, we are in the studio with Jasmin Padova, who works upstairs in the city manager's office. Welcome, Jazz.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We're so excited to have you here. The reason why Jasmin is here is because she is our one PSL superstar / coordinator of one PSL.
I'll take that.
And one PSL is, if everybody should already know this, but if you don't, it is the 24/7 city hall where residents can send in requests for services, report concerns or issues that they have, and it's probably the easiest way to get in touch with someone at the city, and that's what Jasmin is in charge of here.
Yes.
So talk about that a little bit and what you do with one PSL.
Primarily, we wanted to have a convenient, easy way for residents that have been here for 30 years and new residents coming in to be able to connect with us and answer their questions, respond to their concerns. We needed a system to document the requests that we were getting if we needed to focus on a particular issue or in a particular area of town. And this system does that for us. It helps organize the requests that come into the city. We can assign them by request type to the appropriate staff member.
Or different departments
Correct.
that come in? Okay.
Yeah, and it is a more efficient way to get the ask of the residents to the appropriate staff member to address. And then what's most important is respond to our residents how we were able to resolve the issue, provide them any information that they asked for, and we have a record of it.
That's perfect.
Yep.
And efficient is a great word for one PSL. And obviously there was a need for it. So it was created, I've been here almost 4 years. I know it's been around longer than that. So when was it created? And you kind of answered the why, but there must have been a need.
Certainly. So we launched in early 2020. And
okay.
So previous to that, when you called City Hall, there was one employee answering that phone line who had the very difficult job of trying to assign those calls appropriately. If somebody didn't know that they needed to speak with Public Works about their drainage or that they needed to speak to building department about their, the cost of different permits. So that was her role in addition to welcoming guests into City Hall and directing residents that actually came in.
So those calls came to the front desk?
Those calls came to the front desk.
Oh, wow. I can't even imagine that happening right now.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
And we had no data to show how many of those calls didn't get answered. We had none of that data. So now when you call one PSL, we have a decentralized call center. So we don't have, a room, with, 5 employees answering the phones all day. We actually utilize the customer service employees that are throughout the city, Parks and Rec, Neighborhood Services, Public Works, Building Department, and it's rotated through the call takers that are available. They now answer what's the City Hall main line.
Okay. And you keep saying call, but there's different ways to access one PSL, right?
Yeah. So it is the most popular way for people to connect with us is calling our one PSL line.
And what's that number?
It's 871-1775.
Yes, ma'am.
But if you are at home on a Saturday and you want to put in a request for service or answer a question, you can download the app, or you can go to our website and access it from the website, our 1PSL portal, and submit a request.
And you can do it right from a desktop or laptop?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's great. So what are some examples of things that people submit to one PSL?
So actually last year we essentially split our call center. So I'll speak about the request that you can submit for solid waste, which is, probably the most popular right now. And then we also have our 1PSL side, which essentially captures everything else.
Okay.
But with the very large influx of residents that we're now moving into the city of Port St. Lucie, the number one request is for a garbage cart and recycling carts.
Yay, at least they're calling.
They are, yep. They're calling and requesting their carts. And the number two request is recycling carts. So maybe residents that moved here and never had one, or it needs to be replaced. So on the solid waste side, those are our number one and two requests. And then on the other side, questions about swales, drainage questions in general. We have an open swale system, which some people moving here from up north, they've not experienced. They're not familiar with, the water in the...
Not even sure what a swale is.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can get connected with a member of our public works team if you have questions related to drainage, speeding questions, speeding reports of speeding, go to our police department, code compliance.
So we get a lot of questions about speeding on social media. So people can call 1PSL, use the app, or do it from their laptop for speeding.
Correct. So
Okay.
we actually have a specific request type because we're interested in collecting that data.
Of course.
So we want to know where residents are experiencing it, what time, if there's a specific day of the week, and then it gets assigned to the appropriate sergeant in the police department, and then they will respond accordingly.
So they can pretty much submit a request for anything.
Correct. I don't know what request type, I can't submit it because there's no request type that's for
Okay.
what I need. We have a general customer service inquiry. Put it in there, those come to the city manager's office, and then we assign it to the appropriate staff member to provide a response.
Awesome. And I'm sure you have a ton of statistics because I'm actually really interested in this. So do you have statistics from, say, the past year or since the inception? I'm sure you have all of them.
Yes, so I pulled, last month, we processed 2,403 requests
In 1 month.
in 1 month.
Okay.
Last year, it was 35,000. And then since we launched, we have taken over 350,000 calls, which have resulted in 96,000 requests.
Wow.
It's
And that's
staggering.
it was just over 4 years
Yeah.
this past January or ish, or February. That's amazing.
Yep.
And that's another reason why this system is so great is because we do have those statistics now
Correct.
to show how much is actually coming into the city.
Yeah, it really helps us share our story, good, bad, ugly.
Yep.
We have the data to really know what is concerning the residents. We can focus on particular areas of concern and reassign resources if that's something that's needed based on the data that we have in 1PSL.
That's good. There has to be something that this isn't used for, right? I mean,
You're right, and I'm glad you asked. So I would say the two rules to follow is that if you need an officer to respond to your location immediately, you need to call 911. That's how we dispatch staff. If it's a downed, stop sign or the traffic light is out, we use the 911 system for dispatching staff. So please don't put that request in 1PSL. You'll get responded to, but it's not going to be as effective or as immediate as calling 911.
so that's even things of like, of course, a car accident, call 911,
Right.
stuff like that.
Just call 911,
Okay.
and they're very familiar with getting those types of
Okay.
calls, and they will assign it to the appropriate staff member who's on call at that time to go out and respond immediately.
Okay, good. That's a good thing to know because I
Yeah.
think most people would think that would go to 1PSL.
Correct, and we want that addressed immediately, and 911 is the way that we can make sure that it's addressed, most efficiently.
Okay, so emergency calls, 911, not 1PSL.
Yes,
Okay.
and then the other thing is our utility systems call center. It is separate from 1PSL, and they are staffed 24/7.
Yep.
So if your sewer alarm is going off at 2 in the morning on a Sunday, you need to call the utility systems call center, which is 873-6400,
There you go, people.
so that they can, again, dispatch staff
Okay.
to the location to address the issue.
I know we have some success stories. That's the best part of this, of 1PSL. I know you've got some to share. Let's hear 'em.
So what I wanted to share was when you download the app and you are communicating with staff, the app does push out notifications via text and email, but you can't text the system back and you can't email the system back.
Okay.
So when I've had conversations with residents about utilizing the app correctly and actually going into the app, they will put little messages in the app. Thanks so much. This is my first time using the app, so I love to read those. And then the other one, we do a customer service survey at the end when we close out a request. It sends a customer service survey to the email account assigned to the request. And those are all read. And they come to the city manager's office. And when we do get people that are not satisfied with the reason that it's been closed out, so then that's my opportunity. I can perhaps get some, maybe they didn't feel that it was, thoroughly responded to, or maybe it was closed out and they didn't understand why. And I can help, bridge that gap because of the response provided in the survey and improve their outlook on 1PSL from their first experience.
That's awesome. And I know you might not have those statistics with you, but during the winter workshop, Mariana, who is the director of the Office of Solid Waste, she had some great statistics about how the numbers have gone down about complaints to 1PSL about garbage. And like you said earlier, the requests for garbage carts and recycling carts have actually gone up.
Correct.
Yeah.
So we're definitely seeing the complaints, missed services, dramatically decrease. Not only that, but they close out those missed services within 24 hours. And there was a time that wasn't happening.
No.
But we're moving forward and we're in a much better position now.
We are.
So even when mistakes are made, they're brought to our attention and we can address them very quickly.
Why is 1PSL the best way to get in touch with City Hall or staff at City Hall?
So I would say the convenience and the ease. We all have jobs, kids, activities, whatever it is, and you might drive the same route every day and see something. I need to report that. And then it just completely leaves your mind, and then you suddenly remember on a Sunday afternoon, and you can just report it right then, and then you don't have to worry about it. We have it. And then we will respond to you once it's been completed.
Another cool thing about 1PSL too, I just remembered, is the GPS portion.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So
if you see like a pothole on your street or something.
So you can literally take out your phone, take a picture, and the phone knows where you are, so it puts you where you're taking the picture. So, but you have to be careful, because if you are driving to the grocery store and you see a pothole on the way, it's going to pinpoint your location where you are when you're adding in that request. But yes, you can. It does allow you to drop the pin in the location where you want to submit the request.
That's awesome. I actually just shared the 1PSL video that we created yesterday because it was March 11th. I'm sorry, 11th? Yes, 311. It was National 311 Day.
Oh,
and 1PSL is sort of our non-emergency 311.
Yeah.
So we got actually some really good response. A lot of people during the solid waste crisis, I would share the number, which I know by heart as well, too. But people on social media would share the number. Hey, use this app. I've used it. It's great. The people at the city are wonderful. Yeah. So we suggest everyone visit cityofpsl.com/1PSL to learn more information about this awesome system. Download the app. The phone number is 772-871-1775.
Yep.
And is there anything you want to add, Jasmine? Did we miss anything?
I just would encourage everybody to use it. We live in a world where there's a lot of misinformation.
Sure is.
And if you are having a conversation with your neighbors or leaving an HOA meeting and something's city related isn't kind of sitting right, and you want to find out, was the information accurate? Reach out to the city, and we'll make that connection for you.
There's nothing more. I love that. So we started this thing a few weeks ago. Avi reminded me today because I forgot to prep you with questions. It's just kind of like 5 or 6 questions to get to know you a little bit better as a City of Port St. Lucie employee.
Okay.
Ready? We're going to do 30 seconds. Let's do 30 seconds. Okay. Ready, Jazz?
Sure.
Okay. What is your favorite food?
Roast dinner.
Oh, okay. Beef? Anything roasted?
Anything from a British pub roast dinner.
Yes. Okay. Favorite movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. Favorite band or musician?
Ooh, I'm trying to think what I listen to. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Pass.
Yeah.
Favorite hobby? What do you like to do in your free time if you have it? Ignore that. That's our boat noise. We ran out of time, but it's okay.
I like going to my kids' games.
Oh, baseball, football, everything?
Basketball, soccer.
Okay, cool. Favorite place to travel?
England.
Me too. And your favorite book?
Anything Colleen Hoover.
Okay, Colleen Hoover.
I've been reading
okay.
her.
Awesome. That was so fun, Jasmine. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope we made you feel at ease and you had a little fun here in our podcast studio.
Yeah, so I was happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing information about 1PSL. And if anybody out there has any topic that they would like us to talk about, visit cityofpsl.com/podcast. And we'll see you in a few weeks. Thanks, Jazz.
All right, you're welcome.